Well, hey everybody. Welcome to the update preview stream. This is Bugs here. I'm joined today by Artemis and Miss D. Say hi, guys.
Hi, everyone.
Hi guys.
So, what do we have going on today? Well, first and foremost, it is a 5 Thursday month. So, a lot of people are probably wondering, wait, is today forced wipe? And the answer is no. Today is not forced wipe because we are still in November and it's a 5 Thursday month. So, forced wipe is going to be December 7th, 1 week from today. And what that means for the bi-weekly servers like the mediums and the trios is they are wiping again today and they will have a 1 week wipe cycle. So that means all the weekly and bi-weekly Thursday wipe servers are wiping today or have already wiped because they're wiping at the regular scheduled time for the region, which is 3 p.m. local time for each region. That means AU and SEA wiped like 12, 13 hours ago. EU wiped 3 hours ago, and US will wipe in 2 hours at 3 p.m. EST. And once again, it's the weekly Thursday wipe and bi weekly Thursday wipe. So mains, trios, medium, small, Baron, ZenLab. And it's a 1 week wipe cycle for all of them because next week is the forced wipe on December 7th. So, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to do Misty underscore that's me in chat and we'll get to as many questions as we have the opportunity to. And let's get into it. Actually, before we get into development news, an exciting announcement on the server front. We are actually launching 2 new servers next week with the December 7th forced wipe and update. And they are first of its kind, actually, for the official list. This has never been a type of server that has been on the official list before. They are solo servers. A bunch of people have requested over the years that we add solo servers, and I'm very excited and happy to announce we are adding solo servers. There will be a US and an EU solo server. And these are actually going in place of our Baron servers, may they rest in peace. And that is because Baron is no longer going to be supported after this month. The Baron servers, if you're not familiar, are a special type of map that has less foliage and less elements, and it was basically catered towards lower end PCs such that people with lower end PCs could get good FPS. And we've run 2 Baron servers for years now, but not much has happened with Baron over the years, and the devs have decided no longer to support it. And so we were like, what do we do with these servers? And I just looked at what the most requested thing over the years was, and it was solo servers. So these are going to be a 3K map, 150 slots to start. And depending on popularity and things like that, we'll consider tweaking some of those things. But to start, we're starting kind of a small map, small player size environment for your solo adventures. So you can find those on the official list next week when the update goes live, or you can find the direct connect info on rustafied.com along with all the other info about what's going on in Rust development at the moment. Okay, speaking of Rust development, let's get into it. What do we have going on this week? Well, we are 1 week from the update and forced wipe, and a bunch of stuff has hit staging branch. You can see here we got the new Frontier skin we're in, and there are some legacy items. So let's start with the legacy items. These are 4 items that have been added to the game that are a throwback to the days of legacy Rust. And what we've got is the legacy bow, the M4 shotgun, the legacy furnace in all of its rocky glory, and we've got the legacy shelter, aka that old shit shack. And probably most interesting of all of them is that legacy shelter. So let's talk about that. That is something that can be placed down just on the ground. It doesn't require any foundations or anything like that. It is just a like kind of like a 1 by 1, but a little bigger than a 1 by 1 would be. It was actually, this is, I think, bigger than the legacy shelters, if I remember correctly. Like the actual shelters in Legacy, I remember them being a little smaller. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think they were a bit bigger.
Yeah, yeah. I remember the old ones being more like an outhouse or something like this. And this is Well, this would be a luxurious size outhouse if it was an outhouse, but it's enough to fit a couple furnaces and even a bench and some other stuff. When you place it, it actually places with a key lock, and only you have access to that key lock. So it is placed with a locked door, and only you can get in. Now, it is pretty easily destroyable. We're not going through any real specific metrics this week because it just hit staging the other day. And based on what we've seen in the past with these things, it's very likely that we'll see some modifications to the stats and some balance to the stats prior to it going live next week. But let's just say it's pretty easy to get in. It's not gonna like really super secure you for any long period of time. But if you need shelter in a pinch, man, it will come in handy. I imagine more so, and this has been talked about on Reddit, but I think less so people are going to use this at very early game to actually secure their stuff, and probably more so this will be used in combat situations to get some cover on the fly. You can see there are some holes in it and stuff like that, and it isn't the most secure shelter, but it could help out in a pinch if you're under heavy fire and you can just deploy this thing real quick. I believe the cost right now to craft one is 1500 wood. Is that still the case?
Let's double check.
And yeah, it was just costing wood. And once again, it comes with the lock and the door already applied.
Is it just 600 now?
Oh, it's just 600 now. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is why we don't report on the specifics of stuff before, because it's just, it changes. And that might change again. People are going to go, oh, 600 is too cheap. Then they'll make it 6,000 and then they'll, ah, it's too expensive. So we'll see next week where we're at with it. But that's the legacy shelter. It's got no building privilege, but you can place things on the floor inside and they're sort of protected. We're gonna do some testing this week to see like how long the decay is, and uh, I'll make sure to have more specific stats, crafting, damage, and otherwise on the article next week on rustified.com. And of course, on the stream next week, we'll run through it for you, like what the stats are prior to this going live in the game. But that is the legacy shelter. Now, real quick, the legacy bow is just a bow, but it just looks like the legacy bow. So it's just got those legacy vibes. The M4 shotgun, we'll do some comparisons with that versus the spa shotgun, but probably roughly the same. And it seems like the legacy furnace is just a skin of the normal furnace at the moment. And it doesn't look like these things are going live as a DLC. Word on the street is these are just going to be in the game. So that's a nice, refreshing thing to just see some new content in the game that everyone can enjoy. And no word on how these are going to be obtained in the game, if they're just going to be added into the normal loot. I haven't had a chance to tech tree this out and check the tech tree. It's a hard thing to check the tech tree. That's a new vocal warm up for me, I guess.
There you go.
Uh, but but yeah, they're going to be in the game, and everyone's going to be able to use them. And of course, this is to pay homage and to celebrate the 10-year birthday of Rust, which is coming up next month. And as a celebration, they're doing a Twitch Rivals event, and they're bringing back some of these legacy items. They're doing a streamer appreciation, and there's going to be some Twitch drops with a Twitch Rivals desk you can get apparently, and we can show that off inside. And then also to top all of this kind of legacy homage stuff going on, we've got the Frontier building skin going live. Now, this is going to be a DLC. This is going to be the first wood tier building DLC of its kind. And this is also kind of in the vein, in the vibes of what the legacy shelters used to look like, if you remember. Now, it's not exactly the same, of course, but it is in the same vein. And it's a nice looking kind of wood shelter. And you can look around, it's got different variants of walls and ceilings and stuff like that. So you can see different wood patterns around, and it makes an interesting kind of uh, good looking rustic shelter kind of. And it's got some nice looks inside too. And yeah, it's just the first wood building skin. We expect it on the item store when the update goes live next week as well. The price point is probably going to be in the same realm as other building skins we've seen in the past. So probably 10, 12, $13, something like that if you're talking US currency. And then of course it varies depending on where you are in throughout the world and what your currency locally is. But that's the frontier building skin, wood tier building skin. As with all building skins, it's purely an aesthetic change. Nothing changes with the, damage stats or hitboxes or collisions or anything like that with the skin itself. It is just a wood tier, but it just looks a little different and given some legacy vibes off, which is nice. Now, in other news, we do have painting improvements going on. There's a lot of quality of life things coming in for the artists of Rust. And this is exciting stuff if you are an artist for sure, or if you just casually paint, because your tool set has been increased and your ability to get around the various tools has increased if you feel like going in and binding some keys. First and foremost, you can see this kind of new brush here. It is one of those. Is this the brush with the random rotation shadow or Misty? Oof, yeah, Misty.
It kind of just works like the old way of typing and painting.
Cool. But it's got these kind of random effects on it and everything. So there's like a new brush or some new brushes.
Yeah,
And sorry, what was that?
yeah, you can just change size of it and like drag.
Yeah. And it's got kind of these random, you know, things around it. But on top of the new brush, we've got some convars that have been added to be able to control the selected brush, the tool you're using, the size, and the opacity you're using. So you can, if you want, you can go in and bind these various different key presses to, like, say, switch the brush or switch the size. And if you have a Stream Deck and some knobs, I bet you could go in there and set a knob to like the size and then have different buttons on your Stream Deck for the
Yep.
different
For
tools.
sure. Yeah.
And that would be really cool if I was an artist in Rust, which I'm not. I'm decidedly not. But if I was, I'd be really excited about this. And I do have a Stream Deck. I'd be getting in there and playing with that. And this would completely change my world as far as creating art in Rust is concerned. Now, this is also on top of the changes from last week to the canvases, the painting canvases, where they allowed you to turn off the spotlight, which gets rid of the glare. So if you want to paint without glare, you can do that as well by toggling that spotlight with a new button they've added to the canvas stuff as well. So overall, some great quality of life stuff coming to the painting canvases of Rust, and these will be going live with the update next week. And let's see here. I'm gonna stop floating here because I'm seeing that in stream and it's bothering me.
He said
Um,
size of tool.
Size of tool?
Yeah, you said that. Someone in
Yeah.
chat said, haha, he's,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Got a size. Yeah. That's what she said. I don't know. What are we doing here? Anyway, sorry, I'm not. I woke up late today. Anyway, chain link confusion. That's the next order of business we got going on here. So basically, this week they did do some changes to things and it changed some other things that they weren't expecting it to change, but they were like, we'll leave it. And then, oh, no, we'll revert it. But basically, there was this nerf that went out that had turrets not targeting and shooting through chain link fences. And some people were happy, some people were sad. And then they reverted it. So basically, that nerf to stop turrets from shooting through chain link fences has been reverted. This was a miscommunication with the development team, and turrets will continue to shoot and target through chain link fences. So if you were caught up in the middle of that or you saw some Reddit stuff earlier in the week, that's where it looks like that kind of wound out. Also, we got Twitch Rivals going on next month. As I mentioned, this is the fourth Twitch Rivals happening, and it is in part to celebrate the 10-year birthday of Rust. So make sure to mark your calendars. Go to twitch.facepunch.com. Make sure your accounts are linked and you're ready for the Twitch drops that accompany this event. And then mark your calendars, December 11th, and we've got the fourth of its kind, Twitch Rivals. And it looks like there's going to be some new gameplay stuff, some new things based on the commit. They added some stuff with races. They've added some stuff with like clan scoring, and I'm not sure if that's related or not, but it looks like this Twitch Rivals may be a little different than ones we've seen in the past, and I look forward to seeing it. So do tune in December 11th. Also, we got a bunch of miscellaneous fixes going on in the work. There was issues with maps having fishing villages spawning inside of harbors. That was a real pain in the butt because we might wipe a server and then the server's up, people are playing, and then someone's like, "Oh shit, fishing village is in harbor," and that's happened a couple times, and it was annoying. So that has been fixed, which is nice. They also are ensuring water catchers, furnaces, and oil refineries can't be shot through. They've done a bunch of work on reducing overall spam warnings in general. They've also fixed tags not working in the modded tab when using cached browser, the cache server browser. They fixed default keybinds applying over and over for multiple realms and fixed wall being buildable between two different buildings, allowing TCs to be connected and break. So you can still do external TCs, but they just fixed uh, some things with building in this. And that brings me to another thing with offset bunkers. Because another thing that changed this week is early in the week, they're doing some changes to building stuff. And one of the things that it changed, it wasn't even what they were intending to change, but it did make offset bunkers not viable. Like you couldn't build certain pieces that were required to build the offset bunkers, the God bunker, and things like that. And it looked like that was in place for like a day or half a day. And then they changed another thing and they even got on and said, you know what, this we didn't mean to change this. We didn't mean uh, to remove the ability to do the bunkers, but we're not going to patch a bug in the game. We're not going to patch a bug back in the game, which I get where they're coming from. But then they changed another thing or two, and it looks like where we landed now, and it's sorry, pardon the confusion for this week, but it is kind of it went back and forth. It was one of those weeks in development where things went back and forth. But it looks like now you can still do the various offset bunkers, but if anything, you have to do more triangles out. Like something like instead of doing 9 triangles out, you now have to do 15, and then you can come back and do the bunker the way you did before. And part of me, I'm not a huge bunker builder, so I don't have all the nitty gritty distinctions, but there's a good video on Reddit, on the Playrust subreddit from 2 days ago, where shoot, what's that guy's name? But he's got a great voice, great personality, and he explains it really well how to do it. Um, so yeah, check that out. But and it so long and short, it looks like maybe some bunkers don't work anymore. Other bunkers do work, but they work differently. So if you're really into building bunkers, uh, check out the subreddit, and I think there's some good information there. In other stuff, they did remove the lock crate icon from the map if any items were taken from a hack crate on Oil Rig, which is really cool. So you're no longer going to see that lock crate icon on the map if someone's already messed with the crate. And that way you're not wasting your time and stuff. Also, they did more work on the metal detector. This is a new item coming into the game. I don't think it's going to be in for next week, but at some point in the future, we will apparently have metal detectors and not sure exactly how they're going to be implemented, but we'll keep you posted as more comes to light. Also, they're doing some initial work on a small backpack and more work on backpacks in general. So it does look like backpacks will be coming in the next several months. It'll allow you to store more item. It'll utilize the backpack slot that has been added to the UI for the parachute. And it looks like they'll be visible on your back. No words like specifically on if it'll slow you down as you fill more things in your backpack or what kind of the downsides of having a backpack will be, if any. But we'll keep you posted as more information on the backpack comes to light. They're also doing some work on the Xmas event. It looks like there's going to be a Santa mask, and it also looks like there's going to be a gingerbread building skin that will be making it in as well. So, going to be some cool new things for the Xmas event. What else do we got? Oh, there's some work, initial work on a high caliber revolver. And it looks like this is going to be an item in the realm of the frontier stuff. So, a new weapon, a new revolver coming in that's going to be kind of like, I'm sensing kind of like a little boom cannon is what is coming to mind, but we'll see. Speaking of cannons, there's work on a confetti cannon and a pinata. And I don't know if this is more stuff to go with the Rust birthday stuff. It does look like, speaking of the birthday event, previously the birthday event would just run on the 11th of December. This year it's going to run from Force Wipe on the 7th to the 16th. And what we've seen in previous years is there's been like some cakes and stuff. There's been like a couple special items that are in the game just for the birthday event. And it looks like this year will be a little more special than other birthdays, given it's the 10-year birthday. They're going to run the event for a little longer, for a week, and or I guess over a week, a bit over a week. And there's going to be some other things, maybe a confetti cannon, maybe a pinata. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see next week what's coming in. And then I have a misprint on my article, which I see here, which I'll fix later. I said worn on Battle Bus, but that's not right. It's work on Battle Bus. Now, what's a battle bus? I don't know. I don't know what the battle bus is, but the battle bus is a thing being worked on. And yeah, maybe we'll have a new vehicle in the future that will be, I'm thinking like scrap helicopter, but in bus form. And people can roam around the map with a lot of people in a bus. That would be interesting. So we'll keep you posted on that as more comes to light. I don't think any of that's coming in for December. They did update the wording on Rust Plus to on the pair screen specifically to make it clearer what is enabled and what is disabled. And they're doing more work on the server side player movement and ragdolls related to that. That was like a hack week project. I'm not sure if it's actually going to come in, but it seems like they're looking at or seriously considering it because it's still being worked on. But this would be transferring the calculations of player movement from the client to the server, which would be interesting. It could have some very positive ramifications for anti cheat, but it could have some negative ramifications for server performance. So I'm interested in that one. I'm keeping a close eye on that one as a server owner, but nothing looks like is changing or going to impact players anytime soon with that. So I wouldn't worry about anything if you're a player. They're doing an overhaul on the player rigging and animations. And once again, I don't think that's going to have any huge ramifications for you as a player, but just some back end cleanup and things like that. And that's overall pretty much it. Real quick, because it is a 5 Thursday week, once again, just to reiterate, for the bi weekly wipes, we are having map wipes on the weekly and bi weekly Thursday wipe servers today. So that means your trios and mediums are wiping today, but they will only have a 1 week wipe, and everything will wipe with the forced wipe and update next week on the 7th. And expect that to go live 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. BST, or is it GMT now? I don't know with the time zone changes, but
Yeah, that's right.
normal time. Yeah, normal time next week for the update. But that about does it for what's going on in Rust development for the moment. Miss D, we got any questions from the audience?
Yes, we have a little bit. When is the armor skin coming out?
That I don't know.
They were working on it, but it looked like concrete slash stone, right? Cement.
You're talking a building skin? The
Yeah,
armor building skin?
yeah.
Oh, well, originally the Brutalist skin was an armor skin. And it was the first armor tier skin when it hit staging, and it was very plain. Like they added more textures to Brutalist before it went live, and then changed it to a stone skin. Uh, I do think there is an armored skin in the works. I don't know for sure though, honestly. Like I think over the next year we'll probably see a bunch more building skins come in. That seems to be a sweet spot with like DLCs and providing changes in the game that aren't like pay to win, but uh, people will pay for it just to modify their bases. So I think we will see a bunch more building skins come in over the next year, but I'm not aware of an armored skin pending anytime soon. I think originally they were considering having the brutalist skin be an armored skin, but then they realized it looks like stone, so that don't make sense. And then the next skin we have coming in is the frontier skin, and then for Xmas there's a gingerbread skin. After that, I'm not sure what building skins we're going to see.
Also, I just want to add, if I do not read out your question, please do add Miss D underscore, that's me, so I see them better in chat.
Yes, please.
Yes. What about Habis Island 2018 version?
What about it?
I think
I don't know.
maybe if it's gonna be a thing again.
Well, we've got a version of Happus going on our Zen Labs servers in rotation. I don't know. I don't know if it's the 2018 version. I don't know what version that is. There's many different versions of Happus, or I'll at least say there's several, and we've tried a couple different ones, and we're on one now that's being done by Bunny, I believe. Bunny with a couple extra N's in there. And it, I believe, is a good copy of what the OG Happus was. But yeah, that's the version of Happus we're running at the moment. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about, but yeah, if you want to clarify that question, feel free.
Yeah. Um, do you still think, no, do you think we will get the 10-year cake this year?
Yeah, I feel like there probably will be a 10-year cake, although I don't know, maybe it'll just be replaced with confetti cannon and piñatas. I'm not sure because those are being worked on. I haven't seen specifically, and I might have just missed it. I haven't
No,
seen a 10-year cake.
yeah, it's not in yet. It still says 9. So, but I think they've done it like 9
Yeah,
years,
they've
so
done,
why wouldn't they do it?
yeah, yeah, they've done cakes every year for a couple of years running. So yeah, I imagine we will have one.
Will the solo servers be monthly only?
The solo servers are a weekly wipe. Good question. They're weekly wipe for map and monthly wipe for blueprints.
Um, is there nothing new on pets?
Yeah, pets seems like they've fallen deep into the abyss of concept limbo. We saw work on them pretty consistently for like months, and we even saw like we've seen the Halloween Frankenstein's pets have been in for a while, and the consensus was that was like maybe a first iteration of pets and maybe a preview of what pets would be like. And then we saw work on like 4 different breeds of dog and a training collar and all this stuff. But now we haven't seen much on pets. And so it seems like that has been kind of relegated, as I said, back into concept limbo. I think it will make its way into the game at some point, but it does appear like the devs are focusing on other things at the moment.
One of the people who asked for if it's a monthly on solo, he's asking, would you be so kind to ask why it's weekly? Because it might be worth doing a bi-weekly or monthly for a solo.
Yeah, I feel you, brother. I feel you actually. Like that's a totally valid point. And I'll be honest, what we did because it is just our Baron servers are like turning into solo servers. The Barons were weekly wipe and 150 pop and 3K map, and we kind of just left it like that. As I said, though, we are open to considering changing it. And so we might run some votes to see if people want a bi-weekly wipe or a monthly wipe. I doubt we'd go monthly, to be honest with you, because that they die so quick. Like people say they want a monthly wipe, but then they play a week on it and they get bored and then they go to a server that just wiped. And so it, it's not to say monthly servers don't work in general, but not all of them do. And I'm not sure a solo would. But I will consider tweaking the, things with this, and we might change some of the wipe schedule. We might change the map size. We might change the max pop. So we're going to start with this as it is. I'm very excited to see the demand for the solo servers because once again, those were the most requested type of server that I've had over the past several years. So I'm excited to see it go live and see what the demand is. And then we'll probably pull the community over the first couple weeks and see, what people want overall.
Okay, so this was just me thinking. Would it be possible, like, if a monthly is too long and maybe 2 weeks is a little bit too long as well, make it like, we have the Mondays odd wipes. So maybe make it from Thursday and then to the other Monday. So it's like 11 days.
Nah, it's way too fucking
Yeah, I
confusing. I
figured.
feel where you're going, but I'm
Yeah.
already confused over here. So and I know like not only would no one know and everyone be asking when the wipes are, which they already do, and it's as easy as we can make it now, and people already ask. But on top of that, like internally we'd just miss the wipe because we'd be like, wait, is it the second Thursday once removed or the first Monday second to none? I don't know. It just that would be too crazy. But
Yeah, I figured.
I feel you. Not a bad idea, but too crazy.
Yeah. Let me see. So this is not a question again. Keep it up, guys. Thank you for all the previews. Love you. And that is from
Uh
Sugared Beast.
thank you for that, and much love to you. And just a quick opportunity to thank all of you for tuning in. And a quick reminder, we're not the developers of the game. We're not on the Face Punch payroll. We are just fans of the game like you who love reporting on development news and running the best servers that we can. And as an independent organization, we get by on the support of the community. That's the only way we're able to keep being here. So to everyone who watches, to people who give bits and subscribe on Twitch, thank you. And to our wonderful, beautiful, loyal VIP customers, thank you all so very much because literally we wouldn't be able to do this without your support. So much love to you all and thank you so much.
Can shipment container skins be applied to sheet metal double door upper part?
That
That
would be
I
nice, wouldn't it?
that yeah, I don't think so.
No, you can't at the minute.
Is there any Nexus news?
Not really much going on Nexus. We've seen some work on the clan system here and there over the past month or so, which is like bundled up with the Nexus stuff, but really not much going on with the Nexus stuff that I've seen.
I was just pasting another question here. Will you all be taking a well-deserved break midway through the wipe?
I'll be honest, I'm taking a bit of a break just between now and the end of the year. I'm still doing the articles and stuff, and I'm still doing what needs to be done around here, but I'm trying to take a little bit of a break. I've worked my tushy off this year. And then with Charitable Rust, and we had some other migration things going on. It's been kind of a crazy year. So I'm just settling in, and I've been doing a lot of racing recently. So I'm just kind of racing. I'm not playing any Rust this month. I think I'm just going to be racing, to be honest with you.
Someone is asking, do you get shot through the cracks in the shit shack? That's a good question.
Yeah, good question. As I was looking at before, I'm like, we should really test that. And I don't know, do you guys want to test it real quick? Especially
Yeah,
that one on
Yeah.
the top, corner. There's like one big opening.
yeah. Do you want to test it if I stand inside?
Yep. And
Let
in
me
the
take God
meantime,
off
oh,
quickly.
sorry.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Let me
Yeah,
take. Oh, I can go out of the mode.
I don't think I have God mode on.
No, you do
Maybe
want
I
to
do.
shoot me, and then they can see if it damages
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Just be a bit easier on that, I think. There's two gapers.
Nah, I don't think so.
No, no, no.
Ah, you should.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But I
Unless the
Okay.
get why
fire arrow. You want to try an
Yeah,
Ideal.
arrow? Just make sure, but I don't think so. Last time I was fiddling with them, they didn't, but it's good to check.
it's just getting myself some arrows. Hold on.
And I understand why, because the collider would have to be so much more advanced.
Right, yeah, exactly. No, there you go. It's perfect. Shows
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep. You should be safe in
Yeah, no,
there.
you can
At
see,
least
so you
for
can
being
see your
shot.
audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't. You won't be able to. Colliders are all there.
Yeah. And earlier, another one asked if you can take off the key lock and replace it with a code lock, and you can.
Yes.
I Yeah. I also did try to take off the door and see if you could replace it with a sheet metal door, and you cannot pick up the door with or without a hammer. So I don't think that's gonna be possible.
But cool, good check on adding a code lock to it. That's nice.
Yeah. Can you show the new changes in the painting again if you haven't already? Thanks.
For sure. Yep.
Yeah, let's show those off real quick. And on top of the, kind of new tool with some, what's it called? Where'd that go on my article? Some brushes with random rotation have been added, and you can see that's like the kind of the funky spray pattern we're seeing here a little bit. But on top of that, they last week added the ability to turn off the light, the key light, or whatever it's called, and that can reduce the glare or remove the glare if you want to. But then on top of that, what I think is really interesting and going to be really awesome for the artists of Rust is the convars that they've added. And the convars now allow you to bind keys to control the selected tool, brush, size, and opacity and spacing as well. So with especially if you got like a stream deck, you could set all that up to really have a powerful tool set to easily navigate your brushes around, easily change the size by like, you know, um, rotating a knob on the Stream Deck and various other things. So they really added a lot more customization ability for the artists and control of the tools much easier than before, which is another awesome thing for this canvas body of work they're doing.
Someone was just asking also if you can place rugs inside the shit shack, and you can't place anything, I think, on the walls, inside or out. I tried weapon racks, I tried lanterns, rugs, anything. You can't do that.
Yeah, nothing on the walls of the legacy shelter at the moment, but you can put things that can go on the bare ground, you can put those.
Yeah. Let's do a recap, and then after we can do some more questions if there's any.
All right, so we'll do a little recapity cap here. First and foremost, the update is coming next week. It is a 5 Thursday month, so the Force Wipe is not today. The Force Wipe is going to be next week, December 7th at normal time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. GMT. And this will be next week a forced wipe along with the update. No sign of a forced blueprint wipe, although many servers, including most Rustified servers, do choose to wipe blueprints when the forced map wipe hits. Speaking of the wipe, we do have two new servers going live with the wipe. We've got Rustified Solo, first of its kind. Never before on the official list has there been a community solo server. So I'm really excited to have two solo servers going live, US and EU solo. And these are to replace our Baron servers. May they rest in peace, and may Baron rest in peace. Baron is no longer supported as of next month. And so we had to figure out what to do with the servers. And we decided to switch to solo because that has been widely requested over the years. To start, we're going to do a 3K map, 150 slot, weekly map wipe, monthly blueprint wipe, and of course, team UI limit of one. And we might change that and tweak that and poll the audience over December to see what people want if they want more changes. But those were kind of just the what the Baron server was, and so we just kind of started with that, and we'll consider modifying it as demand dictates. Now, into what's going on in Rust development, we've got some new items coming in to the game next week. They are on staging now. We've got the legacy items, and this is to pay homage to the 10th birthday of Rust. They're doing a throwback, some legacy items coming in. We've got 4 of them in total: the legacy bow, the M4 shotgun, the legacy furnace in all its stone glory, and we've got the legacy shelter, which is that shit shack we see here. The shelter is probably the most intriguing one for currently 600 wood. You can craft one, you can place it on the ground, and it comes with a wood door and a key lock deployed. You can take the key lock off and put a code lock if you want. It's a little bigger, as memory serves, than the Legacy Shit Shack. The Legacy Shit Shack was more of literally a shit shack. I mean, it was like the size of an outhouse. This is a little bigger. It's a little more spacious of an outhouse. And so you can fit some things on the floor. You can fit a furnace, a couple furnaces. You can even fit a bench. Stuff ain't going on the walls or anything like that. And it's destroyed pretty easily. You can't shoot through the gaps at the moment. And all of this is subject to change before it goes live in the game next week. So no final stats on like damage or anything like that. But just know it's probably going to be pretty easily destroyed, but could really come in handy in a pinch, especially in a PvP type of environment if you need to get some shelter. Well, that would be right there for you. So that'll be interesting to see come into the game along with the 3 other legacy items. These are all coming in just to the vanilla game. It doesn't look like they're going to be part of a DLC or anything like that. No word on how you will obtain each one, but I imagine they'll be worked into the tech tree somehow or something like that. So we'll keep you posted, and next week on Rustafied.com and on our stream, we will have a full summary of what you can expect with the legacy items and specifically damage stats with the legacy shelter. Also, we've got a Frontier building skin coming in. Now, this is another kind of homage to Legacy Rust and to help celebrate the 10 years of Rust being around. The Frontier building skin is a throwback to kind of the vibe of the Legacy buildings. It is the first wood tier skin of its kind. And you can see it's looking nice, man. It's got like nice wood vibes, and the different walls have different variants, and the different elements have different variants. So when you place it all together, it creates like cool wood patterns and stuff like that, and it doesn't look like just a repeating pattern. It looks kind of custom and just a nice wood vibe going on, you know? So that's the Frontier building skin. We expect that to be on the item store as a DLC, priced probably roughly where the other item, uh, the other base decor, not base decor, I'm sorry, base building skins have been priced. So like 10 to 13 bucks probably. And yeah, expect it next week with the update and force swipe available on the item store. We also, as we were just talking about before, have some improvements to the painting, to the canvases, and how that works. They've added convars to be able to control the selected tool, brush, size, opacity, and spacing via key presses that you can now bind. So a lot more flexibility if you are an artist in Rust. They added a new brush with random rotation for some cool effects, and yeah, and this is on top of the quality of life last week where they added the ability to turn off the light to reduce glare. And so, yeah, a bunch of cool stuff coming in for the artists of Rust next week. There's also some changes around chain link fences and turrets. And just to clarify what happened there, they did do a nerf to the turrets and chain link where turrets wouldn't target or shoot through chain links. This was a miscommunication from the devs internally, and so they reverted this change, and now turrets will continue to shoot and target through chain link fences. Also, on the docket, Twitch Rivals is next month, December 11th. Mark your calendars. Go to twitch.facepunch.com to link your accounts and make sure you're ready to get all the cool skins that are going to be dropped with the Twitch drop campaign. That's part of the Twitch Rivals stuff. Mark your calendars, link your accounts, all that good stuff. Also, there's a bunch of miscellaneous fixes going on. They fixed fishing villages spawning inside harbors. They ensured water catchers, furnaces, oil refiners can't be shot through. They are working on reducing spam, warning spam in general. And they fixed default keybinds applying over and over multiple realms. And they fixed walls being buildable between two different buildings, allowing TCs to be connected and break. You can still do external tool cupboards, but that was just some changes to building. With these changes to building, there were changes to bunkers, offset bunkers. Some were patched out. This is another kind of point of confusion for this week because some were patched out, it looks like, and then others you just need to build out more triangle foundations out than you did before to get it to work. So it used to be like 9 triangles you had to go out. Now it's like 15 in certain bunker instances. I'm not a huge bunker builder, so I'm not like the point of like resource that's ideal for this. But definitely check out if you're interested in what's going on with the bunkers. Check out the Play Rust subreddit, and there's been some conversations and some videos posted on there that have some good information. And this might change between now and next week as well. It seems to potentially still be in flux, so yeah, we'll try to get some more clarification next week prior to the update going live. Another couple of things, they removed the lock crate icon from the map when any item is removed from a hacked crate on Oil Rig. And they've done more work on metal detector that's going to be coming in at some point in the future. They're doing more work on small backpacks and backpacks in general. They're getting ready for the Xmas event with there's going to be a Santa mask and gingerbread building skin. There's a new revolver being worked on. It looks like it's going to be a frontier style item where it's a high caliber revolver. They're doing work on confetti cannon and a pinata, which I don't know, maybe that'll be part of the celebration, the 10-year birthday celebration next month. They're doing some work on a battle bus as well, which could be an interesting new vehicle in the game. They updated warding on the Rust Plus pair screen to make it clearer what is enabled or disabled. And they're doing more work on the server side player movement stuff. Not sure if that's actually going to make it in the game or not, but would be an interesting dynamic change. They're doing an overhaul as well on player rigging. That's another like back end thing. It shouldn't impact player stuff too much, but it's just cleaning up stuff on the back end from what we can see. And then finally, they have increased the duration of the birthday event to run from the 7th to the 16th of December inclusive. Instead of it was just running on the 11th of December previous year. So now we've got from the 7th to the 16th to have the birthday stuff going on to help celebrate the 10 years of Russ' birthday. And not clear exactly what that's going to be. Probably a 10-year cake, probably some other stuff. Maybe that confetti cannon and pinata will work their way in. We'll keep you posted and have ideally some more finalized information next week once it is, well, finalized. But that about does it for the recapity cap. Miss D, we got any questions from the audience before we wind down here?
Yes, we have a few. One sec. Um, it looks like the legacy furnace might fit under the jump up. Have you tested that? I just did, and it cannot. It's just a
Womp womp.
little, yeah, a little tiny too high. So, does the shack decay in a set amount of time, and what is the decay rate on the legacy shelter?
It
We,
will decay, and we don't know. It's not finalized right now. I'm intentionally not reporting on specifics around the shelter because, like, for instance, just yesterday it was 1,500 wood to craft, and now it's 600 today. It's in flux, and so anything we report on today is very likely going to change by next week. And so, given that, we'll have some more details for you next week when the update is about to go live. But you can count on the shelter will decay outside pretty quick, most likely.
is the confetti cannon in yet? I no, I
No,
haven't seen.
I don't believe it's been merged yet.
Yeah. Uh, when are we getting player stats on Rustafied?
We're working on it. I'm, in fact, looking for a team. I had someone the other month who looked like they were going to be a good match to develop it. Unfortunately, they're not able to anymore. So we're looking to have that scoped out and in development in December, ideally. And then hopefully quarter 1 next year, we'll have something launched. So we are working on it, but I don't want to just slap on an Oxide stats plugin that everyone else uses and not only negatively impact performance on my servers, but then just have stats that like everyone's seen everywhere else. I don't love the stats solutions that exist in this space already. So we want to code something special and really build something unique. And so we are planning on having stats and leaderboard, but it's gonna be a little while until we can actually develop it.
Unless someone out there is free to do it.
Yeah, and if you are a developer and a talented one at that, and you know how to develop Harmony mods and scalable, data storage solutions and all that stuff, message Miss D in Twitch, and uh, I'll have her I'll get in touch with you through her, something like that.
Sounds good. Is the purple hazmat a new skin?
Yeah, it's part of the Twitch Rivals thing. I'm not sure if it's going to be part of a drop or just something used in the Twitch Rivals event. But yeah, it's a new skin.
I think that's all the questions for today.
Well, cool. I think we'll take this opportunity to wind this puppy down then. I do want to thank everybody, as always, for tuning in. Once again, we're an independent organization. We're not on the Facepunch payroll or developers of the game. So we get by on the support of the community. So to everyone who tunes in, gives bits, subscribes on Twitch, and to our wonderful, beautiful, loyal VIP customers, as always, thank you all so much for the support. And thank you, Misty and Artemis as well for being my co-MCs as always.
As always, you're very welcome.
Yep, you're most welcome.
And yeah, much love to you all. We'll be back same time, same place next week, 1 p.m. Eastern, to give you a full stream of what's going on in the update, and also Rustafied.com. We have a new article first thing every Thursday, which describes everything going on in Rust development in picture and text form. And check us out on X for news throughout the week. We've been doing some shorts and stuff like that. And yeah, looking forward to a wonderful Force Wipe next week. In the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week and a wonderful wipe. This is Bugs signing off.